Only once. It's only
Just
happened
once. Just once.
Just
That's
once.
what I'm picking up on.
I think
That's the new canon.
I think Rock Whisperer had that happen last week. I think he went live on
you know what?
his own channel.
Because here's the thing. It only happens if there's someone there to see it. If there's no one there to see it, didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about. Didn't happen. So it's only ever been confirmed to have happened once. Just one time. That's it.
Just the once.
We've never had any other issues. Yeah. And you know what? It was that one time it was on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There we go.
100%.
Problems just completely erased. That's how we handle our problems here in the world of Destiny 2. We talk about them for a while, then we just pretend they don't exist.
Yep.
That's how
I handle
go.
it.
That's how I handle it.
I mean,
jump off the map in PvP. It totally didn't happen. I mean,
didn't happen. No, nobody saw that. There was nobody watching. It didn't happen.
Exactly.
That little the little guardian down ticker. That was the architects. That was enemy action. It wasn't me killing myself.
They always try to spoil everything.
Every time. they've got the highest KD in all of Destiny. They're unstoppable. Pretty sure they're hacked.
Young Khan has an excellent shirt that's called that says "Killed by the Architect Society," and it just it has the smoking skull on it. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. I love wearing that thing.
I'd spend money on that.
It's fairly good.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 248 of the Planet Destiny podcast. We are back once again to talk to you about the things that are going on in the Destiny universe. And oh boy, we got a few things to talk about this week with Iron Banner live right now. Hot takes about Iron Banner coming from every direction. And of course, Solstice of Heroes getting ready to start up in just a few days. We've got a lot of stuff going on. With us tonight, your usual roundtable of hosts, Mr. Dan Finity. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, TBL. It's been too long. What has it been? 2 weeks?
It's been literally too long. It's been exactly too long. But you know, people need breaks. Everything. Exactly. Yeah, everybody needs a break from everything.
Yeah.
Of course, I am the Black Link, and joining us tonight, our very special guest, the one, the only, the LastLadyLegend herself, Miss Nina. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, TVL and Dan, and the entire Planet Destiny team. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, we're super psyched to have you here. And we've got quite a few things to talk to you about, especially when it comes to Iron Banner, since you mentioned before we went live that you've had a bit of an experience with that this week, huh?
Yes. So I actually didn't play it right at drop like a lot of people do and try to crank out the bounties. I waited for the dust to settle a few days and jumped in this weekend. And I went in as a team. We went in as like man, I think about usually. And games were pretty regular mercies. Pretty routine, I'll say. Maps too, and the same players, even getting mercied back to back to back. Like it didn't change lobbies or anything.
Yep.
So then I was like, I got that experience. So the next day, Saturday, I went in by myself and got mercied 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
And then finally made it past the mercy just to get to a game that probably would have been better off if it was mercied in the 4th game.
Oh, no.
So I tried to get the full experience of it. It's crazy. Yeah, right now.
You definitely set up yourself for a buffet of pain. And Nina, I am so sorry.
It's the beauty of playing Iron Banner, and I think it's so perfect and hilarious that even with the removal of skill-based matchmaking, which has always been notoriously heavy in Iron Banner, nothing's changed. It's still mercy or be mercy. Never again. Was
there a change though? Okay.
I mean, they say there was. I can only go off what Bungie says. It doesn't feel like there was. They say there was.
Yeah, I knocked out all my bounties on Tuesday and was just like, and done. I don't need to do that anymore this week because I was just going for the pinnacles because my hunter still didn't hit 1060 until I think I can't remember what I ran. Something dropped 1060 gauntlets, and I was like, yes, all right, cool. I can move on. It's fine. But other than that, no, yeah, it was a lot of mercies, a lot of just hanging out with friends and just being like, well, that was an experience, right?
You can call it that. You can call it an experience. And of course, that experience is what we're going to spend a bit of time talking about this week. But first things first, for those who may not be acquainted with our guest tonight, Last Lady Legend, why don't you let them know who you are and what it is you do? And we hear you're doing something interesting this month. Let's just take a little bit of time to talk about that.
All right. Thank you. So yes, my name is Nina. Please, everyone call me by my first name. Hardly ever do people call me by my full gamer tag. That mouthful right there.
It's different for everybody. I've had people who are like, call me by the username, call me by my real name. And then you call them by their username and like, they give you the death glare. Like, why would you say that? Why would you call me
that? I'm okay with it. I promise. I'll send threats no sooner than a week. So, but I mostly play PvP. I play PS4 and PC. PC is newer for me. I've only been on it since this fall, kind of late fall.
Wow,
but I
really?
main console. Yeah, I'm one of those holding on to console for dear life, you know?
I'm right there with you.
I feel that,
yeah. I've done both. I've done comp, I've done trials, I've done Iron Banner. I've tried all aspects on both. I will say my first cheater faced in trials on PC definitely scared me back to console for like a good solid 2 weeks.
Yep.
But in my stream, I mostly focus on doing help. So we do all kinds of free help for people, whether it be trials or comp. Stream a few times a week. I do have a full-time job. I work a corporate human resources position that I'm at about 50 hours a week. So I try to stream 3-4 times a week as kind of a part-time afterwards. So
that's awesome. So what got you into streaming to start? What was the impetus? What was the first thing that made you want to get into it?
Actually, I've helped people in trials and just really enjoyed PvP since D1. And a lot of my friends have been in the help game for trials for a long time. And I started streaming about February last year. I'd streamed a handful of times in D1, but never like anything consistent and always kind of spaced out. But we kind of hit a real kind of slow, stale patch in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Content was kind of slowing down a lot, if you weren't, trying out a lot of Gambit, and things like that. So, and once you kind of hit, your pinnacle reward in PvP and comp at the time, like NF and stuff at that time.
Oh, yeah.
It was, what are we going for now? So we took on the next challenge of trying to help other people there.
That's fantastic. And may I say that working full time and also consistently live streaming is not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to do at all. There's only so many hours in the day. And I really do applaud you for keeping that up because I work a full-time job and I use it as an excuse not to stream. So I feel like I kind of need to step it up because you're proof positive that you can do that sort of thing in the working world today. And I just want people to know that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of dedication to work a full-time job, come home, and then still have your daily live streams. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I look up to you guys a lot. Like, there's so many community members that have been around for so long that found this, from the outside, it seems perfect balance. And, you come into stream with your high
Yeah.
energy every time, and I'm just like admiring it. And I'm over here, like drinking like caffeine and, try to
Whatever gets you
juice up
through
a
it,
little
man.
before stream. Yeah. So
Do what you got to do.
Well, awesome. So, what's your favorite map to play in Destiny right now?
longtime favorite is actually Javelin.
Okay.
Ooh, good
Yeah.
choice.
I like the flow of that map. It's like Endless Veil or
Mhm.
what was it? I'm thinking of Convergence, that it's easy to spawn trap people
Yeah.
or as
Oh,
easily
yeah.
spawn trap people. So I like that map because I feel like it just has a little more options and a little more play styles, but it's still a map where you can kind of be aggressive on.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's a lot of maps with a lot of long lanes, that were designed for, countdown originally. That it can just be hard to kind of move the map and rotate, I feel. And that map kind of allows you to move and not get punished for it. So
Yeah. You're absolutely right. It is one of those more fluid maps. Definitely one that you can control spawns on, which happen to be my favorite maps as well. I feel you on that one. Okay, so with the Destiny franchise here, one of the biggest questions I love to ask any of our guests is, how did you get started with this? How did you get into this game? Everybody seems to have a different story with that.
So I wasn't a gamer at all back in the D1 days. Games since
Really?
PlayStation 1, Nintendo 64 days.
Mm-hmm.
Since I was a
Really?
kid. Yeah. It was a big gap. When I come home from college, I would occasionally play Call of Duty with my brother.
Mm.
And that was about it. And, even then it was like, a handful of 5 games. And I was like, kind of like, screw this. I don't know. Like, Call of Duty's not for me, obviously. But, so I'd come home from, I'd graduated from college. And I had torn a ligament in my foot, actually.
Ooh.
And my
Ouch.
brother, I was out for about 6 months. Actually, it was pretty
Yeah.
bad. And my brother, he's pretty tech savvy, so he had fixed people's like Xbox 360s and Red Ring of Death and PS4s for them. So he had bought a PS4 and a broken one and fixed it for me and gave me Call of Duty, actually. And he was like, here, since you can't walk and do anything, you just have to like lay there. You have
play
something
this
to do. Yeah. And it wasn't like, instant love or anything at the time, but I was very grateful for it. So like I tried to play it and, I was playing some of the free games on PS4. And then one day he like sat me down, like as I was starting to get up and a little bit more mobile. And he was like, this game just came out, Destiny, here, just try this, and just sat me down and he put me into like a mission on the Cosmodrome and just like forced me to play it. And I kept dying and I got really frustrated. And he put it on like if you remember back in Destiny 1, you could do like a little bit of a harder mode when you replayed the story missions. So
Yeah.
it was a new character, so he put me on like the harder game mode, and so I was just getting like farmed a lot by ads in like a simple story mission. And he just had me play it over and over again. He was like, no, just learn the game. Learn, like, you have to play behind cover, learn these things. And I was like, okay, all right, we're doing this. And I just kept playing and playing. And eventually, like I think it was like a couple days later, I made my own account. I wasn't playing on his anymore. And I, probably replayed the Destiny story like, I don't know, 3-4 times right off the rip in the beginning there.
Yeah.
Just trying to get used to it. I had never really played first person shooters or anything. And I wasn't, I didn't even go to PvP. I just replayed the story and did patrols and was hooked. I was like, this is amazing. So I credit my brother and me being a klutz and tearing a ligament in my foot. So
Yeah, going from an injury to jumping into this game that really has kept a lot of us enthralled for the better part of half a decade now.
Yeah.
That's a pretty interesting way to get into Destiny. I mean, I would never have guessed a physical injury, having nothing else to do. So you get a PS4 and eventually you start playing through the missions of that. But I definitely feel that. I remember going through the story mode of Destiny 1 multiple times, just because it is fun. It's fun to just jump into the Cosmodrome, go do those missions, go run patrols. That's probably one of my favorite things about Destiny. And indeed, just based off of the player numbers, we know the vast majority of players do just that. They just like to hop in, run patrols, and do missions, and that's it. So I think that's a beautiful way to get involved into the game. It's probably the most perfect way to experience Destiny first. Avoid the Crucible, avoid the nonsense, play the majority of the game's content. But of course, now you do play Crucible. How did that start?
So yeah, I guess towards after the Taken King, I was a very casual player. I'd gone back to work at this time. I'd healed, towards Destiny had already been out a couple months, I think. I think I got it like the end of October. So I was a little late to the party. And I was just getting like mobile again and back to work and everything. So I didn't play a lot. I was playing casually like once a week. Then The Dark Below came out and it was exciting. It was new. I'd been doing the raid finally, Volta Glass a lot. And I was in that kind of rush where I guess I felt like I was progressing as a player and finally starting to get better at this game. So we played the Dark Below DLC, and then, we were anxious for taking the House of Wolves and the Taken King. And then I had worked actually a second job, and around this Taken King time, I stopped working my second job. And so I started to play a lot more and, started to do like, the weekly reset stuff, things that I only did kind of if I had time. Like, oh yeah, if we do a Nightfall this week, no big deal. And I was starting to sign on like habitually, like a few times a week. I could go spend money at the bar, or I could sign on to Destiny with my friends.
That's right.
And
bring a sixer home.
Exactly, right. And just have some laughs in a raid and stuff. And the people that were I was making new friends, because I really didn't have friends in the game at this time. I had like 7 people on my friends list, and they played PvP actually, and they introduced me to it. And that was a really, I would say, rough learning curve too. A lot of frustrating moments. And Trials was out at this time, and so after the Taken King, been out probably a month or so, maybe 2 months. That was kind of the next challenge in the game. I was like, all right, well, let's learn PvP. So I think Bungie had said that there wasn't a DLC or anything planned at this time or something too. So I was like, we gotta move on to the next thing. So I went in with a bunch of friends that we're kind of me. We're kind of struggle bus together on the road to PvP. So and a lot of funny moments, a lot of frustrating moments, but we kept with it and it was good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, right on. I mean, I'm sitting here chuckling to myself because as you're telling this story of how you got started with this, I'm brought back to how I got started in like Destiny in those first month. I think it dropped in like September of 2014, and I remember I had played the beta and done a couple of the missions, and then I remember my first time jumping into PvP, and it was First Light, the moon map, and my first experience was basically jumping out and saying, "Oh, hey, cool, headshot, dead." that was that match. That was pretty much the entirety of that match. I can remember how rough it was jumping into Destiny PvP the first time, but ooh man. What a ride it's been since then.
Oh man, my first experience in PvP. I don't even remember it. I think I maybe played like. I must have just suffered through one match and then talked to my roommate at the time, who was my bandmate. The only person that I talked to about the game was my friend Drew, and I was like, "Yeah, man, PvP's tough." He's like, "Yeah, you're going to get murdered. You should probably, unless you really want to get good at it, you probably should steer clear." And I was like, "All right, PvE's the life for me," and that's where I've been ever since.
That was it, huh?
Yep, that was it.
I like you say you talk to your buddy about this. I like to imagine for any of you guys out there who've watched the TV show Monk with Tony Shalhoub, like you stepped into PvP and then immediately went to your therapist talking about your experience.
Uh,
I didn't know what to do. I couldn't shoot anybody. Everybody else was mapping me with shotguns. Yes, you should probably steer clear of this. It can only mean great harm for you in the long run.
Which curiously brings us to the great harm being done today with Iron Banner. So of course, Iron Banner is live this week, and I think has everybody here had a chance to play through it?
Yes.
yeah.
So,
Everybody's real excited about it too.
Such fun, this Iron Banner concept. So of course, that's back. We've been hearing a lot of talk about Iron Banner this week. There's a lot of people with a lot of different takes on what's wrong with the Iron Banner and the Crucible as a whole. Why don't we start this conversation off by figuring out how everybody's experience was? Nino, we asked you a little bit of this earlier in the show, but overall, how would you say your Iron Banner experience has been this week? Good experience, bad experience?
I wouldn't say like I'm performing badly. The lobby balancing seems pretty prevalent, you know. You know, I even went in with my clanmate, like we just duo queued for like I think my last game, you know, after solo queuing for a while.
Yep.
And it was still kind of the same thing, you know. You can see a definitive level in like stats just between players, and I don't know. I can't think that, you know, players are having fun getting mercied and killed off spawn instantly. It just, I mean, I don't know everyone out there, but it just doesn't seem like the best experience at the moment.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say there's a lot of variety going on right now either. It was all auto rifles. So that's another one. So
no, I definitely feel that. It's Iron Banner is a weird experience. I've only played it on one character. I just played it on my Warlock. You know, I got the quest done first Iron Banner, which I mostly enjoyed. I enjoyed the first Iron Banner of this season. This time around, it was purely business. I was just trying to get my pinnacles and then get out, which thankfully didn't take that long. I solo queued the entire way through. It was a mess, just a complete mess. You join a game, get mercied, then the matchmaking algorithm will throw you up against a team of literal babies. So you mercy them, then you're back up against a ridiculous team that mercies you. So it was back to back to back. Thankfully, I don't really take PvP, especially Iron Banner, too seriously, so I don't get too tilted by it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say I agree with a lot of your points there. The algorithm does seem to still be a little bit weird. I think it's definitely more of a lobby balancing issue right now. The game kind of builds its teams in a really, really weird way, which I don't think is very conducive to solo play. The only way to kind of consistently get any sort of lobbies out of Iron Banner has always been to run in a 6-stack, which is where Dan begins to smile because that's all
I run.
That's all he runs.
Well, it's not a stack necessarily if you're all doing poorly.
It's a pile. More of a 6 pile.
It's a group of 6 people.
A grouping. Yeah.
And gaggle, if you will.
Oh, is that what we can call your party now? A gaggle? A gaggle
I think
of guardians?
So. I'd call it a gaggle of guardians. And in my case, this week, man, I don't even know. I don't even know how much we won and how much we lost. All I remember is just being like, we might have won 3 games on Tuesday. Like, might have. It was like, and all I remember is just like laughing with my friends and being like, wow, we're really getting our shit kicked out of us. and like in a few instances, and then a few times we're like, huzzah, we won. And like I remember, I think Bibble had maybe like a couple of beers and just I think he complained about it a couple times. He's just like, guys, I can't do anything. It's like, yeah, it's fine. None of us can.
Yeah,
we're fine.
It's okay.
I did find an okay loadout. And I just used sidearms. I just used my my anonymous autumn. I just used that. I used that the entire time and just and it took care of most things. Some things it didn't, most things it did. Let it live at that. So
no, I think that's good. And it's funny because like sometimes weapons that you use all the time will just feel weird when you come back after not playing the game for a couple days. And that's what happened to me. I came back, so I didn't start playing Iron Banner until Friday, and I hadn't played Destiny all week. So I jumped on there on Friday, and like my normal loadout was just not doing it for me, not at all. Like I couldn't use a hand cannon to save my life. So I swapped over to something. I swapped over to a loadout that I used to use back at the beginning of this year, Bastion. Which, after not paying attention to the Destiny community for a while, I was unaware that Bastion was looked down upon. So did pretty good. I'm a big fan of that gun. I've been a big fan of that gun for a while. And all I'm going to say about that is, look, I warned y'all. I would just like I warned y'all with Lord of Wolves a year before everybody realized it was the busted monster that it was. I warned you with Bastion at the beginning of this year. When we got it, I put out that review video. I said, "Oh no, oh no, this thing is gonna be a problem when people realize how good it is." People now realize how good it is. I'm not mad. I'm not. And you can stay mad at me. I'm gonna use Bastion because it feels good. Because it shuts down your stupid super and kills you at one shot as you're trying to shotgun ape rush me. That was the thing that I found the most success with Bastion gnawing hunger. So I'm gonna keep using it. I'm gonna keep making people a little bit upset with that. It makes me laugh though, because like that's been a huge topic of conversation over the week. People complaining about Mountaintop. Mountaintop is still a hot ticket item for the hot takes out there on Twitter. Gnawing hunger is a big target right now. Suros is a big target. Bastion is a very, very big target.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what loadouts did you guys find the most success with? Dan, we know you got your sidearms. Nina, what did you find the most success with? And what did you hate the most?
I stick pretty true to hand cannons. When I'm doing helps, I do auto rifles a lot because I don't want to put myself at a disadvantage. I feel.
Yeah, I feel that.
Iron Banner though, I stuck with the hand cannon. I was trying to get a good perspective of trying to use, I use a Thorn and a Fellwinter's, and then I used a Last Word and a Beloved, and I just tried to stick consistent with that when I was, in the group and when I was solo queue to see, kind of performance wise how I was doing. And I wouldn't say like I did terrible solo queuing, but it was really just the lack of teammates around that was rough. I mean, if you want to talk skill levels, like people you're being matched against, it's it's all over the place. It definitely is. Like I ran into people I recognized and definitely got stomped on a couple times. And then there is people that I'm like, what light level are you? Or like, are you sure this is a good choice? Like, looks like you're pretty fresh into here. So
happens every time.
The Bastion though, I gotta that one's a little sore subject for me. Like,
Ooh, let me hear it. I want to hear it.
it's just I guess shut me down in super one too many times in
Yeah.
trials to not land a full shot or like a critical, like a precision shot.
Yep.
That I feel like, it's a little overpowered in that aspect.
Oh yeah, 100% agree, and it's because of the way Bastion shoots. It's not like a normal fusion rifle, which fires, I think, 7 bolts
Mhm.
with every charge. Bastion fires 3 times as many bolts per shot. So you just aim center mass, and it blows through whatever armor your opponents are running. I would definitely agree that in terms of it's probably the best weapon for shutting down supers right now, just like Lord of Wolves was back before it got its changes.
Oh
They could
wow, yeah.
probably Lord of Wolves used to eat supers alive.
I forgot about it. I blocked it out.
Yeah, I tried
They
to
used
warn
to
I
eat-
warned people.
It used
Right
to
when
eat
Forsaken
everything
came out.
alive, dude. What are you talking about?
Everything.
Supers. It just,
And I was trying to
whatever was
tell
in his
people
path.
month 1 of Forsaken. I'm sitting there like, yo, Lord of Wolves is a problem, and you guys don't realize it. And then Bungie's like, we think Lord of Wolves is underused. We're gonna let you release the wolves manually now. And I was like, oh no. Bastion, it's very much the same in its kind of utility there. And also, because the bolts deal a set amount of damage, you can kill at ridiculous ranges with it. If you're at least if you can handle the recoil that the gun has, it's a strong option. It's a shotgunner's worst enemy, and a lot of people have been pretty upset with it. I feel it though. I understand why. I tried to warn them. I tried to warn y'all months ago. But what about you, Dan? Did you have any annoying occurrences with specific weapons in Iron Banner?
I was getting my ass handed to me so many times that I didn't even know. I wasn't even paying attention to the weapons that were coming at me. I was just like, you're right. You win this round. Thank you for your time. Took my hat, took my resume, because apparently that's probably what I was doing. Shopping around. Took that, my resume, and just walked out the door.
I actually put out a funny tweet just about Bastion like a week or 2 ago. Got a lot of likes, surprisingly, and I got a few interesting messages back on it.
Keep talking. I'm going through your tweets right now. I'm finding it. I will find it.
It said, "Attention, all Bastion users. Every time you equip a Bastion in Crucible, a Nickelback song plays on the radio. Your actions have consequences. Think about what you're doing," or something like that.
Oh, God. There were so many photographs to look at that week.
You'd be surprised. I didn't know there were so many Nickelback gifts to reply to that with. Like, I was shocked.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Well, at least 57 of those Nickelback replays were me today. Just today. Yeah, I don't know what we know that Bungie oftentimes they address some of these standout weapons, and I'm not exactly sure what the usage rate for Bastion is right now. I should probably look that up on Destiny Tracker. But say they were to take a look at nerfing Bastion, what would you like to see them do with it? Anybody?
Yeah. We've discussed this a few times because I understand the argument, in Destiny 1 that people felt exotics weren't powerful or useful enough, not enough to equip. Take an exotic slot,
Yeah.
So I definitely don't want to nerf it into the ground. I want to find some kind of balance. I don't know if it's bring down a damage or have to land all shots to be effective.
Okay.
Or, I feel like a big thing that Destiny suffers is damage over range. And a few weapons, not just Bastion, kind of break this mold. They're so stable and they're doing full damage 40 meters down or 30 meters down when they really shouldn't. I think little just tweaks could kind of help it. You know what I mean? We don't have to break the integrity of the weapon, but just little tweaks that can really just kind of bring it down in line.
I can agree with that, especially when it comes to lowering damage over range. Because the thing with Bastion right now is I think it actually has a damage floor that is fairly high. It's like I think the minimum it can do is like 10 damage per bolt. But well, I shouldn't even say per bolt because every bolt has like 7 shots in it. But that's the problem. It's because every bolt that it fires has 7 shots in it. You just need to land two of them, and you've got to kill, even at ridiculous ranges, because it's still doing 10 per bolt. It's crazy. It's a crazy weapon. So maybe lowering that damage floor on it would probably help a bit better with just how lethal that weapon can be at the ranges that it can be lethal at.
Yeah.
I could agree with
Yeah,
that.
for real. Yeah.
BG Rising in chat says changes the Bastion, put a spider on it, and Black Link won't ever touch it again.
That's not true. Because remember, the last spider I had to deal with, I punched.
That is
So
very
I
true.
will touch it. I'll just
there a
touch
video?
it with this.
He'll touch it with
I
both
wish.
fists.
I'll hit the trigger with both fists. You can't take my fusion rifle away from me. Look, I already lost Pocket Infinity. I'm not losing Bastion.
We've all heard of claw style. Now we've heard of punch style.
Punch style. That's right. I'll play Bastion with this. But so I don't really know if there's too much else to talk about when it comes to Iron Banner. I mean, it's not the best experience. I didn't hate my time in it.
No.
Just like the last Iron Banner, I got through it, got my four bounties done, got my pinnacle gear, and said, okay, well that's enough of that for right now. I do wish that they had updated it, and I feel like we say this every time there's an Iron Banner. I do wish that they had updated it with more revised Iron Banner gear.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like there's a lack of those right now. We still only have the Forward Path and the Fool's Remedy as the revised Iron Banner weapons with access to those 2 new perks. I wish they would just add in some of the other classic D2 Iron Banner weapons with some of those updated perks. Just give people something to grind for you about.
Yeah.
I could agree with that. Yeah, definitely. Be more interesting.
Yeah.
I was actually looking at my inventory, and I go in and play Iron Banner, but I don't even turn in the tokens. I have like 2,000 tokens just sitting there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true. I haven't even turned my tokens in either. I just completed the bounties and stopped.
Exactly.
Yeah. I felt like there was one bounty where it was like if you were under light, if you were under the opposing guardian's light and you killed them, that it was like it gave more progression. I remember that one. Maybe I just strategized a little bit too much. I like dropped myself to 1030, but that went like the wind this time.
Real quick.
When last time I felt like it took me like a couple of days to figure out like, okay. But yeah, drop yourself to 1030. Just don't anticipate killing anything and just have fun.
No, drop yourself to 1030 and grab a Bastion. Then you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about it. Jotun too. Jotun's another one that'll one shot when you're ridiculously under level. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god, the toaster.
Like Jotun's easier to use than Bastion is IMO.
If one of them had to go, Bastion or Jotun, for both of you guys, which one would it be?
Bastion, hands down.
You think Bastion? Yeah, I could see the majority of the community saying that. Goodbye, Bastion. Can I say Telesto?
No, it's one of the two.
Probably Bastion. I'll just concede it. I'll just accept the fate there. Probably Bastion.
Oh man,
it's a painful choice. Don't make me choose.
Painful choice. Painful choice.
What was your pick, Dan?
Dude, see, I don't feel like I get massacred by Bastion all that much. Jotun's just annoying because
if you're not paying attention,
well, it's like somebody's just setting and forgetting. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like boop, and then they're out down the hallway, and then all of a sudden in the middle of the screen it's just like kink, and they get the kill. So I don't know. I feel that doesn't take as much skill as a Bastion, so I'd say Jotun probably. Honestly.
Yeah, Jotun's a pretty easy weapon to use. Like, and because the shot has a limited amount of tracking, I think it's a little sillier. I've seen that orb go around corners. I've seen it pull some weird moves.
I've seen it stop at
Definitely.
McDonald's to get a shake. And
And then come back around the
Yeah.
building and still
Yeah.
kill me. Like it's oh, okay.
I've seen it actually get I've seen it actually go to McDonald's when the McFlurry machine wasn't broken. It came back successfully with a McFlurry before killing me. I've seen that.
Secret powers.
Yeah. Let's see people talk about Mountaintop. Yeah, Mountaintop is going to continue to be a problem until
Till
forever,
the end of
because
the
it's always
season.
going to be an issue.
Nah, the end of the
Yeah.
season, you'll be fine.
You think people are going to stop using it in PvP after the end of the season?
I mean, they're going to have to for light. Well, maybe they don't have
For
to.
Iron Banner, yeah.
But for Iron Banner and trials and stuff, they're going to have to. In the game PvP activity, they're going to have to after the season.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There'll be something else that pops up that is equally as annoying, and people just have to deal with it then too. So
Every season, there's something to deal with.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, the next thing will be people making Overwatch May style ice platforms and blocks
Yeah.
with Stasis getting ready to come out. Who knows? We'll have to see.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's Iron Banner. You know.
Yeah.
It's just a normal, average Iron Banner experience. I will say that I was happy to see that Crucible player numbers have maintained a fairly high total play count. Like yesterday's Crucible player numbers were in the 700,000s, which is only about 90,000 less than the number of PvE players. So I'm happy to see that people are still consistently playing in the Crucible and playing PvP. Those numbers have been fairly consistent all throughout this season, which makes me smile. I like that. Glad that people are actually enjoying their time, at least somewhat enjoying their time in Crucible, enough to figure out something to complain about on social media.
Fair.
But anyways, with Iron Banner going away, we do have something getting ready to replace it, and that is the Solstice of Heroes 2020. It is going live this week. We got to see a trailer of it earlier in the week, and I am very happy to report that they're bringing back the European Aerial Zone, which was available in the event last year. I thought that was a pretty fun little self-contained area. I thought it was a neat little event, and I'm very happy to see it come back. What are you guys' thoughts on the Solstice of Heroes?
Nina, go ahead.
You know, I'm kind of excited for it because I didn't get to play it as much this time last year. The area is cool. You know, it was a different game mode. It was, you know, something you had to play a few times to get familiar with and kind of get the feel of, and you know, actually work together, which I liked. It wasn't just like, you know, here's a handful of blues. Thanks for participating. Like, you know, so, and you know, this time last year, I was actually working a lot. Like Q3 and Q4 at work for us are kind of crazy, but this year is a little different. So, I'm excited to play more and actually try to grind it out more. I think I did like the bare minimum of it last year, so I didn't get to like upgrade armor or anything and get the full experience of it.
Right on. Yeah, I'm looking forward to all of that again here starting this week. The European Aerial Zone was a really interesting little activity. I thought it was probably one of the better event activities Bungie's come up with. For those who didn't get a chance to play it last year, it is a new world space inside the EDZ where you basically go in. You are tasked with taking down mini bosses all over the place. They can be Cabal, they can be Fallen, they can be Hive, and you'll have a set amount of time to take out as many mini bosses as you can. And based on the number of mini bosses that you defeat, you'll get a number of rewards at the end. They'll spawn a bunch of treasure chests all over the place, and then it becomes a game of like hide and go seek with the treasure chests. You got to go and find them all over the EAZ's world space. It's really neat. It was a really rewarding activity because, again, like Nina said, it wasn't just 2 tokens and a blue, as it were, when you completed that activity. the more bosses you beat, the more stuff you got. You get legendaries from it, you get upgrade materials from it, which was the real benefit last year. Enhancement cores were really rare this time last year. And so running the EAZ was a fantastic way to build that stuff up. And I'm really happy to see it come back. There were a lot of people out there who took the activity seriously enough to memorize the potential spawn locations of all of the mini bosses, go and take them out, and then of course memorize where all of the potential chests could be. And it kind of became a bit of a competitive sort of thing with that. Either way, I'm really happy to see this event come back. What do you think, Dan?
I think it's interesting. I liked the EAZ as well, and it was something that when I was streaming, it was something fun and kind of quick to get people in on, and just help people grab chests and whatever. One of the big things that like the community has been talking about over the past week has been the armor, and whether it would be like years past where you do all this grinding, you do all this awesome stuff to get this gear that looks like it looks immaculate. It looks like they've spent so much time designing it only for it to not matter like a month later
at all.
It's your first 2.0. It's your first armor 2.0 set, but
40 stats all around.
Yes. So I think what they're doing with it this time is interesting, where you do have to grind out certain things for it, such as like complete a Nightfall Ordeal on the Master difficulty, complete a Nightmare Hunt, complete Pit of Heresy, complete a Tier 5 Altar of Sorrow 3 times, and win 7 Trials matches. Those are interesting, and I think the Trials matches don't have to be in a single session, so it's like those are things that are easily obtainable in my mind. And so, of course, you get the set with the glow, and then I think earning the Majestic Legendary set will unlock the option to purchase the Universal Ornament set from Eververse for either Silver or Bright Dust, which I think is a big, like, that's a good change compared to last year, where the glows were only for that armor, and you had to buy like one set of each, right?
Yep.
I think so. Yeah. I didn't progress to that level, but yeah.
I think I got one with Bright Dust. Yeah, it was, and it added this kind of like weird temporariness to everything at the time too, because you enjoyed the thing, you wanted to get the gear because it looked great, and then you get the glows, and then it just means nothing. So I think
it meant nothing.
Turning it into universal ornaments that aren't necessarily a specific glow, but are more based on what you're running at the time, the super that you're running at the time. I think that's a nice change overall. I don't know. It's a lot of the stuff, a lot of the cosmetic stuff from it looks cool. It's probably going to be something that I will play quite a bit of just to get the stuff done and to try to coincide that with some of the moments of triumph stuff that I need, and then call it a day. Probably like 3 to 4 weeks of busy work for me.
Very casual variety.
I think the longevity is big on it.
Mm-hmm. Especially the trials thing. The trials qualification. I feel bad for the people who for the moments of triumph went ahead and did the trials qualification.
You got to do it again.
Yeah. And like, I'm kind of glad that I stayed away from it for this long. So maybe I'll step in and just like go for wins here and there. But it's not going to be, I don't know. It's not going to be something that I actively seek out most of the time. It's just stuff that I'll have done either on stream with people who need help with it, or, anything else. So.
And to be fair, I think the requirements for the event this time are really kind of conducive to that.
Yeah.
Whereas in previous years, the previous 2 Solstice of Heroes that we've had featured very heavy grinds. it was a lot of stuff to do to get your armor from the common version to the uncommon version to the rare version to the legendary version, and then to get the masterwork and ornament challenges all done for that. It was a lot of stuff to ask people to do for Bungie to then go and completely invalidate the work of those armors with the release of Forsaken and then with the release of Shadowkeep. And I thought that was the biggest issue, especially with the Solstice of Heroes last year. Bungie kind of immediately invalidated all reasons to go for that grind.
Yeah.
When they put this armor set out, they put these glows out, and then it's like, but this is only going to be useful for about a week after you finish the challenges to get this stuff done. So I'm very happy that this time around they're making it a universal ornament that you can just kind of wear over everything that you want with the glow. We're also getting a fourth glow to unlock with Stasis. Of course, the new subclass that'll be dropping with Beyond Light. So I'm much more incentivized to actually do something with this Solstice of Heroes, especially considering the challenges this time, as you just read off, are they're a lot more casual. It'll take you a couple weeks to get it done, but it's a lot easier than what we had to do in like 2019 and 2018.
Yeah.
The challenge. So
well, I mean,
very
that's
happy
just for
to
the
hear
Majestic set too. There's there's going to be steps in between. There's just like do 25
public events or trolls or stuff like that.
Yeah, like 20 or 25 strikes. And people are going to be like, "Oh, I got to do 25 strikes." You don't have to. But you like if you want it, then sure. Do it.
Asking me to do 25 strikes for gear that's going to be permanent is a lot better than asking me to do 25 strikes for gear that's going to be light locked in a month. I'll take that.
Yeah.
And of course, I dig the European aerial zone. It's a cool area. It's a cool activity. I've been waiting for Bungie to use it again, and I'm very happy that they're bringing that activity space back with Solstice this year. Oh, and don't forget, this is very likely going to be when the Traveler's Judgment exotic quest goes live as well. That is probably going to be an exotic reward that's tied into all of this. We know that's been sitting in the database for a while. It's the last exotic that we know about for this season, so should expect to see that pop up over the week as well.
Oh, is it?
But,
okay.
I
was kind of wondering.
I hope I didn't ruin a surprise.
I just like I don't I guess go into like the data mining and like follow that as much. So if there's been a release date or any presumptions on it, I hadn't really heard any. So
it's just this is the last. Yeah, it's just that this is the last big event that was scheduled before Beyond Light, and that's the last exotic that we know about that's supposed to be coming this season. So we're assuming that it's going to be dropping alongside the Solstice of Heroes. And I feel awful. I feel like I just ruined a Christmas present. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to spoil
For
that.
shame.
For shame.
I was kind of curious, with the season being extended, if maybe they had pushed that back at all to keep something towards, the end of the season, kind of bring people back that might have be dropping off in the middle of the season here. So
right, because we do have basically almost 2 additional months that have been tacked onto this season. They've got to figure out something to keep people playing for that extra time period.
Well, I mean, they kind of talked about it, right? So we're going to be Moments of Triumph has been extended to November 10th. So you have time to get those raid rings now. If you didn't, you can do a solo prophecy if you so wish, because you have till November for that as well.
Plenty of time.
Festival of the Lost has been pushed back into the mix. So that's kind of neat. Sorry about that, guys. I think Nina dropped out.
We lost our guest.
Yeah, it looks like we lost Nina. But yeah, I don't know. They're trying to add things in, but we just have to see. We'll just have to see what they do by the end of the season.
It's a long period of time to have added on to a season that they weren't planning on extending. I assume. So it's them putting out Festival of the Lost is pretty good. worries. Welcome back.
All good. Welcome back.
Discord is just like, no at the moment. Like, it's internal server error. Just said,
Yeah.
nope, had enough. Like,
Real quick,
I
is
thought
the
you were
recording
just-
still going?
yes.
Perfect. All right, cool.
Yes, we're good.
I thought you were just mad at me for spoiling Traveler's Joke. Or Traveler's
I'll
Joke.
cry later. But
Oh no! No, I'm sorry. But yeah, so we will have Festival of the Lost coming out sometime in October, and I'm looking forward to that. I wonder if they're going to use the Haunted Forest again for the last time with that, because that's going to be a bit of content that's going away into the vault. After,
it wouldn't surprise me.
After this.
It wouldn't surprise me if they reuse
Good
that.
point.
What else do you think that they'll add in? Because like it says and more.
And more.
Ellipses. It says that after the Festival of the Lost bit. My only guess is that they try to do another community event. Like maybe do a planet rush. Do a planet rush of like complete these many things.
Yeah, before these planets go
IO
away.
before it disappears. Do this. Yeah. I think that would probably be pretty awesome, actually.
Go harass Asher Mir before his planet goes away.
God.
Yeah.
I could see that. Definitely an Iron Banner. There's going to be an Iron Banner or two
It's
to
gonna
pad
be like
that
8
out.
Iron Banners between now and
they're gonna throw as many as they can to keep people playing.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a community event. They did that with the delay before. Was it Shadowkeep or Forsaken?
It was for Shadowkeep. The delay in
they-
between, they added the Mars community event.
Right. Yeah. I could see them doing that again.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it'd be definitely a smart move. People really liked the menagerie farm.
That was great.
Yeah, right. I saw so many people excited, PvP, PvE mains alike, just ready to jump back in and they might have not, farmed out like the community events a lot themselves, but they were excited for the activity to come back itself. And stayed in there the whole, what would it go up 1 drop every week? Was that it?
It was something like that. It took a fair bit of time.
I saw my entire friends list in the menagerie at points, just living in there and having fun. So,
which is good. That's one of my favorite bits of content in Destiny 2. So any excuse to go back into the menagerie is always welcome here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I could see them doing any number of things like that to kind of give people something to do while they wait for Beyond Light.
Oh my God. Okay, just hear me out. This is all just a fever dream kind of thing. This is something that I want. They do a planet rush. You have to hit these 4 goals, 1 for each planet. You hit all 4 of those goals, they update the loop table in Menagerie to be 1360.
Oh
Ooh.
man. You saying I can have my 1360 Ostringer? Is that what you're saying, Dan?
That's what I want to say. I want to say that.
I'd take that. I'd 100% take that. Oh my God. Yeah, because see, that would give incentive to people to not only run those planets, but then also to rush Menagerie, because I think that's some of the content that's going away into the vault. Everybody would be trying to get their 1360 beloved, their Ostringers. Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Guys, Bungie, if you're listening, the check goes to I'll send you the details for the check later. But
goes to Dan Finity?
Yeah,
or
that's
the ISRL.
It's a gold idea. Oh my God.
That is.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Infinity.
That's your buddy Nathan saying, good to see you, buddy. There in the chat saying, I'd call off work. Absolutely. Are you kidding me? I can farm out for a Perfect World Beloved and an Ostringer that I know is not going to be vaulted.
For another year?
100%. For another year. Oh my gosh. I love that hand cannon so much. So much. I would love that. It'd be great.
I just want it.
Yeah, and as a community reward, that'd be so much better than the emblem or shader that we got the last time. That's actual viable content. That'd be great. That'd be great.
Oh, so good.
Well, here's
Boy.
hoping we see something at least similar to that. I have to ping some Bungie devs and see if we can slide that into the development back pocket. I would dig that. But anyways, yep. So that's Solstice of Heroes should be starting up this week on Tuesday at reset time. Again, look for that exotic quest. Probably going to be going live this week if I were to take a wild guess. I'd say probably. Looking forward to that. All right, was that all the news we had this weekend?
I mean, that was pretty much all the news that we had last week and this week, I believe. Just doing my due diligence here and double checking, making sure that I'm not missing anything.
What do you guys think of oh, go ahead.
I was going to say they introduced a lo-fi beats playlist, which is kind of cool.
They did.
Yeah. As a fan of lo-fi hip hop beats, I'm very impressed. It was very good.
Very impressive.
Yes.
I was going to ask you guys, what do you guys think of the Solstice armor this time around? I think it looks pretty good.
I like it. It's unique. It's different. I like the glows,
Get devil horns.
Yeah, exactly. It's very
horns.
Distinguishing. That's that ornament. It's not confused with anything else. Which is kind of cool, like the D1, ornaments you had on things, and like the big kind of green spikes came out of you. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I miss those ornaments so much.
Right?
I miss that D1 gear so much. I can only hope that with a lot of this D1 content coming back into D2 with the start of Beyond Light, that maybe Bungie doesn't bring back the exact same armor sets as the ones in D1. I'd be okay with that. I'd be 100% if they just brought back the Age of Triumph raid gear for all the raids that are coming back to the game. But certainly that style of ornamentation, bring that stuff back. I want to shine when I load into the tower. I want to be a nightlight.
Yeah.
When I load into the tower.
Dude, bring back glows. Like just the crown glows that were above your head. We don't have those anymore. Like those were cool. That way you could see who did what in the week in the tower, and it was kind of like a neat thing.
Yeah.
When it came to like I hope at base they start with Age of Triumph gear for whatever comes in. Like at base. And then improve upon it from there. I think the universal ornament system can be robust enough to like push Destiny in some interesting ways, even outside of Transmog.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, at the very least, if they're going to bring Vault of Glass back, and they're not going to make a new armor set, it's got to be the Age of Triumph version of the armor with the ornaments and all that kind of stuff. But I'd expect that they're probably going to do their own sort of thing, at least on the level of that. That's what I would.
Have they said anything? That you brought up Vault of Glass. Have they said anything on the time frame of that when it's coming back?
Nope.
They just said sometime in the next year.
Yeah, so Beyond Light's going to drop. We're going to get the Cosmodrome immediately. At least one version of it, not the entirety of it. We're going to get like one or two of the strikes there, but not all of them. I think Omnigul, they said, is going to be one of the initial strikes that's going to be available. And then they're going to be expanding upon that content over the course of the year. I do believe they said that we won't be getting Vault of Glass until next year. So it'll be 2021. Probably during the spring. Whatever big spring update they have is probably when they're going to drop Vault of Glass.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, with Beyond Light, it's going to have its own story raid. It would make sense to not get another one until their spring update. That's what I would put my money on.
Very
Vault
true.
of Glass will be spring 2021, which I cannot wait. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for Vault of Glass. So psyched about that.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, me too. I've always kind of been I'm a little on the fence of, the recycling old content, and I've always been team get new things and bring new exotic versus get old exotics, but I mean I know they have tons of projects that they work on, and tons of ideas, and I know they want to, do the community right and play fan service and bring back old favorites, but I'm excited to see. I really hope there's, a decent amount of changes in Volta Glass, and like you said, new armor, new something.
Oh yeah. And when it comes to revising Destiny 1 content, I honestly believe that the reason they're doing it is because they explored the option of almost kind of renovating D1, maybe doing something like releasing D1 on PC and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and just found that bringing that content to Destiny 2 was easier, which
Yeah.
given all the horror stories Bungie devs have talked about, have given about the engine and how hard it was to work with in D1. I wouldn't put that past them. So I
Yeah.
get the feeling that's probably a big reason for why they're bringing all this stuff forward. They've got a much larger player base, assumedly, with Destiny 2 of players who didn't get to experience that stuff in D1, and they have
Yeah.
no real viable way to remaster D1. So they're just bringing it to D2. Which
Let's-
I like
yeah.
new stuff. I love new stuff. But I love nostalgia too.
Right? So it's like so torn.
It's
Yeah,
got to be
it's
so
hard.
expensive. It's got to be so
Oh my God.
expensive.
So expensive.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I want a D1 remaster on PC so I can finally just play all of D1 at 60 FPS, I'd imagine that's just cost-wise, that's way too expensive, especially without a backer like Activision. So
Yeah.
we'll see what they do with the online, bringing all this kind of stuff back. I'm psyched for it. I can't wait to see what Bungie's doing. Can't wait to see Europa. It's gonna be
Oh,
Oh my
a lot of
God,
cool
yeah.
stuff. hmm
I want it so
Well,
bad.
all right, Dan. Is it time for us to move on to audience questions then?
Yes, we have a couple. We have a couple of sections before we say goodbye. So we'll start with questions. We have a robust amount of questions. I said robust a lot tonight. I'm so sorry.
It's a good word.
It is.
Ooh, I've got one for Nina.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah.
So obviously you've played a lot of D1, you've played a lot of D2. We were just talking about raids. What is your favorite raid experience in Destiny?
My favorite, I guess I go like my favorite raid is definitely Volta Glass.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my first experience with any type of game
Mhm.
mechanic like that.
Yeah.
It was tough. I felt rewarded. I was in like that 29 level purgatory because you had to get like
Yep.
the Volta Glass gear to reach 30
Forever.
for forever. So I felt so satisfied and I jumped up and danced around when I think I got a helmet that made me level 30.
Oh, yeah.
I would say I probably got into the most raiding though during the Taken King time. That's when I had the set team and we were signing on and the raid challenges to complete every week and
I feel
kind of
that.
pushing ourselves using different weapons in the raids and stuff and
Yeah.
just really learning the raid inside and out.
Do you have a favorite raid drop, like weapon or armor or any of that? Or exotic?
Oh, the Fatebringer. I hunted that for oh my God. They increased the drop rate. What was it? Maybe after House of Wolves, was it? Or Taken King? They had to up the drop rate. I know severely. And I was one of the people every week, all 3 characters there faithfully trying to get it. And it took a good year for me to get it. Oh my God. Yeah. And that was, as much as I love to change up weapons, it was hard to take that one off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What about you guys?
Oh man. Oh gosh. There's just there's a lot of really great ones. Vault of Glass, of course, had fantastic weapons all around. You said Fatebringer, so I think I'll take Vision of Confluence, which was the solar damage scout rifle. I think it was full auto, had field scout, just probably one of the best scouts that Bungie's ever put out. But like Wrath of the Machine had some of my favorite weapons in Destiny's history as well.
Outbreak.
And Outbreak, that's where it came from, with a ridiculous math-based quest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll say Vision. I loved Vision.
Yeah, that weapon barely left my side in Destiny 1. It
Yeah.
is a beautiful weapon. My favorite raid. So I learned how to Sherpa on Kingsfall. Kingsfall was the one that I learned how to be a Sherpa and help other people get stuff. But Wrath of the Machine was probably my favorite experience raiding.
It was good, man.
Just the pure kinetic energy of just running around, like the panic of empowered left, empowered right, like all of that.
Yeah.
Like I feel like once you got Kingsfall down, you had it. You knew the recipe. It's like making your favorite dish over and over again.
Oh yeah.
Infinite quantities. With Wrath of the Machine, it felt different every time because of the amount of panic that would be imbued in people based on what changed. And so, I don't know. I really like that raid a lot, and especially helping people get Outbreak was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Wrath of the Machine was so much fun.
Yeah.
Get the monitors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You did.
Oh my god.
I had the balls
monitors.
down to a science. It was like 7 seconds before the balls dropped from the ceiling.
Yep.
So it was like, all right, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, grab your balls. All right, 3, 2, 1, throw. And like I don't know. I remember.
Good
I
time.
remember a lot.
I've actually had the pleasure of taking friends that never played D1 back
Mhm.
to experience that, and we just did a Wrath of the Machine
Oh,
and attempted to do the challenge mode on Axis. If
Oh,
you remember that,
what?
like,
Yeah.
Oh, what was that one? I can't.
if well, somebody was
Oh, the
empowered,
plates.
and yeah, you had to hit the plate at the same time
At
as
the same
him.
time.
Get those supercharged. That's right.
We spent
Oh,
about
that's
3
the thing.
hours wiping, and it was great. It was great every moment of it. Like for
There's a
them
lot
to
to
see it.
manage in that fight. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably one of my favorite encounters in all of Destiny. Axis was so much going on there.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
It was chaos, and I loved every minute of it. Like
Right on.
All right, let's get into community questions. Angelus B asks, do you think Iron Banner should be as it was in D1 with rotating playlists instead of control, which just encourages stomps?
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
agree. I kind of a side topic too. I've heard the argument for, a solo queue Iron Banner list, which I think could help a little bit too in that stomping aspect. Just I don't know if the player base would stay, all week, but maybe, maybe this would increase the player base, So
But how many
Give-
playlists do we have at that point?
It would have to replace 2 of the weekly playlists.
Yeah.
That's the
true.
only way. And I'd be okay with that because, that's fine. I think that's fine. Long as it doesn't get rid of Classic Mix or one of the more generalized playlists. I think it's fine for it to pop up and take 2 spots, have a freelance and a normal Iron Banner. And I think Iron Banner swapping game modes has been something that the game mode is needed for a long time. It does not need to be control every single time it comes around. I'll take an Iron Banner Supremacy.
Yeah. Supremacy wasn't Supremacy initially built for that in D1?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think they gave us like a little hint of it and then you jumped right in to Supremacy. So I think we've talked about that several times where it's just like, you know how I feel about Rift, especially with the new throwing mechanics we have. You know how I feel about Clash, and you know how I feel about Supremacy. I would, if it were rotating playlists each time it appeared, so it's just Supremacy one time, Clash one time, Rift another, like it was in D1. I think it would be better. You'd have people avoiding certain playlists, like certain weeks, but you still have that. So I don't know.
I think it'd be better than what we've got.
Yeah. But Coffee9 asks, how many times have you purposely or on accident deleted Destiny 2?
This seems fairly directed. I wonder who he's talking to.
I have no idea. Moving on. Mod Sherpa asks, is a hot dog a sandwich, and does that answer change in the Destiny universe?
Nina?
It's definitely not a sandwich. Like, definitely. I mean, anybody that says otherwise
Nina.
just wants to watch the world burn. I mean,
Nina.
Just wants to watch the world.
It is sandwich neutral.
It's sandwich neutral.
explain. I'm up for this. Explain.
In the grand diagram of sandwich, you have traditional, you have extreme, and you also have neutral. I feel the hot dog is sandwich neutral. It is like right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
It's like a quesadilla sandwich then? Like, I don't...
It depends on what's on the... Well, you know what? Yes. It is
Yes.
an extreme quesadilla. It is an extreme sandwich, but it is still
sandwich.
it is a delivery device for meat and cheeses and other things that you decide to put in between whatever you just shove it in your face.
In
So,
between
like, is
some
like
kind
a
of mud and
pizza
flour.
slice folded in half a sandwich?
I would say yes. I would say
Okay.
yes.
All
At
right.
that point in which it then gets folded in half, yes. Outside of that, it's a deconstructed sandwich.
A decon sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sandwiches 101 with Professor Dan Finity.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. I like that. You know what? Beautiful lecture, Dan.
Thank you.
Dr. Dan.
What's the hard line? I just want to know that stops it from being a sandwich. Is there like a definitive line in your mind?
The only thing that I can think of is if it's two breaded pieces of chicken on the outside, then it is not a sandwich.
Not a
You're breaking the laws of nature on that one.
Right. It's a glorified cordon bleu.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like a KFC sandwich, right?
Yes. But
It
it's not a
was.
sandwich. It was at
But not
KFC,
a-
but
Right.
not a sandwich.
KFC Enterprise. You know?
Yeah.
And also the answer doesn't change in the Destiny universe. That's I heard that from Deej. Gray Fox asks, with the extra 2 months, what will the D2 landscape look like before Beyond Light hits? A darkening of planets, beloved NPCs rescued or lost?
I don't really know if it's going to change that much. I think the rolling narrative is probably going to come to an end well before that 2-month extension, at least in terms of new story missions. You know, we've got these story missions going on every week with Savathun's Witness and all that kind of stuff. You know, we had the mission to go and prepare the planets for evacuation. I get the feeling we'll get one more thing like that. That'll probably finish sometime in September, and then it'll just be a static environment for 2 months. I don't know if we're going to get any more darkened planets.
Agreed. Yeah, I can't imagine. I'm expecting more lore entries, you know, little things to pop
Yeah.
up like that. Maybe a surprise one, kind of like they hid like the Telesto, right?
Mhm.
Lore tab,
Yeah.
and that had like a
Yeah.
deeper meaning into it, and something like that. Like, but like visual changes, I'm probably not expecting too much.
Yeah.
You know,
We have the means to an end quest, or means to an
Mhm.
end, which the cycle ends in 5 to 6 weeks. Is that right? 5
Somewhere
weeks?
around there, yeah.
And then you have whatever the Exodus is. So, and that's the exotic mission for the travelers. I can't remember the full.
Chosen, I think,
Yeah, the
is
Traveler's
exotic
Chosen.
name.
So you have those two things, and then I think it's just the story is done. It is
Yeah.
story complete, and you can catch up on it in the weeks in between. I don't know if anything gets darker. Do you think we might have a community thing again, like another like overall.
like the Almighty?
Yeah, like an almighty event.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Oh my gosh, they could do
Oh,
that
wow.
with
Yeah.
the planets that are going into the vault. Like something happening with them. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. I
Huh.
don't. I mean, it's
I
interesting.
could
I don't know how long it took them to do that last time.
Yeah.
And they're in the midst of trying to get Beyond Light to the point where it's out the door. I don't know if them being like,
Right.
you know what? Let's do another one of those right at the end. Let's make this a precedent and use some resources there. I don't think that they do that if they're already pushing back deadlines.
That would be cool though.
Yeah.
And you could almost even have looked at the Almighty event as like the test run for what they were going to be doing with vaulting these planets. That would have been cool. But I think you're right. I think they're already having to delay the game by 2 months. If it's not something they've already started and finished now, probably not happening.
Yeah. Let's see here. The Destiny Show asks, will Destiny 2 Last Light be the final chapter in the Destiny franchise? Why or why not?
So Last Light is going to be the content that's dropping in what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, that's the end of this trilogy cycle.
I don't know if it'll be the last thing in the Destiny franchise, simply because the franchise has been very successful. Remember, a lot of people play this game. I don't think it's Bungie's big, it's their big IP now.
It's their only
I think
IP
it'll probably
right now.
be it's their only IP. I know they've got that mobile game that Christopher Barrett I think is heading up right now, but we haven't heard anything about that, and I don't know when that's launching. I don't think they're going to stop Destiny as a franchise though. That'll certainly be the end of D2. We're absolutely going to be on the next game after that if there is going to be a next game, but I don't think they're going to stop their support for the franchise now. Destiny is money.
Yeah, it is definitely money. And it can't, like, thinking in capitalist terms, which I'm sure I'm sure they are, you know, they want to keep that kind of coming in. It may be the end of the storyline that we know as we know it right now. And then who knows if they do like a Final Fantasy thing with Destiny 3. They just like start up a new thing on top of it.
Yeah.
Or like if it's a continuation of our storyline. But it's I think right now we know more about Destiny and its future plans than we have at any other point in Destiny's history. Especially knowing that for 2 more years we're going to have content for Destiny 2. So
crazy that they told us that.
Yeah, it's unprecedented that they did that. And yeah, just appreciate D2 for what it is right now, and we'll see what happens in the long run.
Right on.
Yeah, and it's called Lightfall, I guess. Sorry. Beyond Light, Witch Queen, Lightfall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it? Oh, okay. I couldn't remember. I was like, I have Beyond Light down. And
yeah.
then Witch Queen. I was like, ooh, that last one there.
Last Light. That sounds right.
Yeah,
Lightfall.
Yeah, it sounds like a Bond film. Lightfall.
Oh,
it kind of does.
Anyway.
But completely agreed. Like Destiny, has, business aspect. It's successful. You look at you brought up registered players and just PvP, right? The other day, you looked and it was close to PvE numbers. I mean, you look at that and how many people sign on, even if it's just a minimal amount daily or weekly, and the numbers are there.
It's definitely there.
I mean, we've seen dead games. We could talk about Anthem. We could talk about No Man's Sky. And, how
she's kicking the horse.
They tried to resurge these games. Breathe new life into them. And
I was just playing Anthem earlier today. It's dead.
Yeah, and Destiny is nowhere near these levels, and I don't think it ever will drop to those levels. So
absolutely, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Nathan Sane asks, which class will you main when stasis drops, and why is it Hunter?
Nathan has good taste. I mean,
He
obviously,
does.
Hunter main.
Ah. Mm.
That new ornament, the universal ornament's going to look real good with that blue shining underneath it.
Yeah, can't argue with that. Mm. My only cop-out answer is all three, of course. Mm. Warlock
You must
masterclass.
I'm definitely a Hunter all the way. My other characters, depending on my schedule, definitely get neglected.
Yeah.
You know, with Warlock being in last place. So.
Ooh.
See, I used to be that same Hunter, but now it's my Titan that's in last place. It's like
Gotcha.
the Warlock comes in more handy than you think in some instances.
We're pretty handy.
Yeah.
He really
I don't
does.
like to admit it.
Everybody wants Warlock, so like I guess in my mind, everybody was like, "Oh no, we have like 5 Wells of Radiance committed to this raid already. We're fine." Like,
Yeah.
so we're good. I can be whatever I want. Like,
Buck Coffee 9 asks, his actual question was, with Vault of Glass returning, is there any validity to a world's first race? Given everyone knows primary mechanics, should Bungie not bother with a raid race?
Oh no, of course there's validity to it. It's still a general race, and don't think Bungie's not going to add something new to Vault of Glass. Let's dispel the thought that Bungie isn't going to shove a bunch of champions into Vault of Glass. It won't be the exact same experience. I very highly believe that they'll have entirely new things.
Yeah.
Completely agreed. I think for the success of it, there has to be substantial changes to it. You know, it can't be, you know, it was tough in its day, and it's, you know, when they kicked it up to a higher light level, it stayed tough. But with, you know, obviously the mechanics and weapons, even like going back and playing it after Kingsfall, you know, and you had like tether and things like that just kind of made ad clearing so much easier. Like I know Bungie is going to be kicking it up a notch and thinking of ways to trip us up, and I look forward to it. I want that challenge.
Same. Yeah. And like we've made the joke here for the last couple of weeks, but expect the anti-barrier supplicants.
Yes.
Expect them.
Oh my god.
I actually want them because of the rage that I'd see in my timeline. There so much rage.
Yeah.
But like I didn't even think about this when they announced it. We're going to have new powers when Stasis comes out.
Yeah.
Like we already have new abilities. We already have like the Well of Radiance, you know, the bubble's been around forever, but like we're going to have the Stasis subclasses as well. So it'd be surprising to me if they didn't add a jumping puzzle element somewhere in there where you have to use your Stasis abilities.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's funny to see how jumping puzzles have evolved. I'm watching people fail Vault of Glass, which seemed fairly simple.
Comparatively, yes.
Comparatively to how they've progressed now. So that'll be very interesting.
Yeah.
Just comparing the pit and Vault of Glass, where it's literally just wait for the platform to show up and jump, to something like Whisper of the Worm, which is like, all right, here's an area, figure it out. I can only imagine what they're going to be doing with Vogue when it comes back next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this
for the community aspect too, they really need. I'm sorry to
go ahead.
To do a raid race too.
Yeah.
Community, the raid race, like you look at the community and the hype that gets behind it. Like I don't participate in day one races. I like to cheer on friends because these people go 24 hours hard. Like, you know, I have tons of friends that challenge themselves there. And I just love the community feel of it. I love watching, you know, there's obviously the big names like the Redeem clans out there in the math class and all that. But I cheer on my friends and I sit in their streams, you know, and stop by and make sure that they're hydrated and eating. And, and you just see the passion in their focus into it. I love what it does for the community. So
Oh yeah, and I'm sitting here thinking like, oh man, how are they going to start Vault of Glass the exact same way we did in D1, where you're out on patrol in the Venus world space and you got to open the gate? And then I thought to myself, what if the start for Vault of Glass in D2 starts in the Whisper mission? Because that's where you go to find that seventh portal. What if you're jumping through that, and that's how the Vault of Glass experience is going to start in D2? That could be cool. That'd be an interesting way to start that off.
Yeah.
Load people into that world space and then throw them through.
That would be cool.
I can't wait.
Oh,
I like that.
I can't wait.
So you just show up in that room. Like, say you transmat into that room. Asher Mir says something relative about, like, the Vex architecture or whatever, and then you jump through.
Right.
Oh. You find a chest. You find a chest, and then you
the chest.
then you turn a corner. It's like, oh, hey, this is the opening to Vault of Glass.
Yeah. That'd be a neat way to kind of to link those together, because of course, when you're with the Whisper mission, you can go do the oracles, and then you get to actually see into the Vault of Glass through the portal there. So it'd be a neat way to kind of start that off, link those two things together. I like it. That'd be a neat idea. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with Vault of Glass.
Yeah.
When it drops sometime next year. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Definitely, yeah.
World's first gotta happen. That race has gotta happen.
Yeah.
It's always too big of an event.
Yeah.
Last question for the evening. Final last question. That's it, kids. Tag Griffin 12311 asks, what will happen with the Vanguard in the future? Will there be a new Hunter Vanguard to replace Cade, or will they disband? Will the Vanguard dare be honored?
Ooh, the Vanguard dare. What do you think, Nina?
I've always had the opposing opinion on this. So I'm a big lore nerd, and I've watched the Mylan by videos and all that. And the Vanguard dare was like something that was accepted between Andal Brask and Cade Six. And it was agreed upon terms. And that's not really what happened this time. Like, everybody's on this, shipping this Aldrin. He's going to be the Vanguard mentor. And, if you go into like a little more of the lore, like, the Vanguard mentors are people that were, reputable in the community and been around for a while. And, kind of mentored under, some of these great people like, Akora under, Osiris and all that. So I don't think Aldrin can just step into the Vanguard role at all.
Absolutely.
I think it's going to be somebody completely different, like Efforty or something, and it's gonna surprise us.
100% agree. I was thinking Efforty, Shiro, shoot, Zavala would pick Anna Bray before he let Aldrin anywhere near the Vanguard. Absolutely. Yeah.
And we've seen her character grow to be like one of those characters that is a pillar character.
Yeah.
Whereas like Sloane, Asher, the other guy.
The other guy.
they're all kind of like just their characters, right? They're reporting in, whereas Anna has been boots on the ground for even cutscenes. So that would make sense to me.
Very true. I've even seen a thread that they were building up the conspiracy theory that Shiro 4 returns and becomes the Vanguard.
I can see that. Yeah.
So, because he was kind of on this, I think he was labeled as a scout, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back at the Iron Temple. So they're like, he's been proving his ranks all this time, just waiting to return.
Yeah. And we've kind of kicked this around with Europa and kind of like the triumvirates as they are. Like, who's to say? Like, you have the Vanguard at the tower, but you also have like a darker other Vanguard with the Stranger and the Drifter and Eris. Yeah.
Which like, they're 100% going to be the hub NPCs on Europa. 100%.
So
I dig it.
That would make
Yeah.
that would make sense to me, especially with new powers being given and this other thought to it. So I don't know.
Yeah. Got a lot of lore look forward to when Beyond Light goes live. A lot of questions being answered there.
Yeah.
Can't wait for you to come back. Been waiting for that for years.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was it for questions. And now
Alright.
a brief announcement. Nina, thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm a big fan. So
Glad to have you. So
Fantastic to have you here.
getting into our announcement for Planet Destiny, the stream team has added 10 new members to our ranks, which is exciting because we already had like a stacked crew. Our crew was already stacked, and now our stable is even more stacked. We put stacks on the stacks.
Stacks on stacks.
Stacks
That's a
on the
perk.
stacks. It's awesome. I'm very excited. So the returning team of stallions, as I've been calling them over the past couple weeks, we have Sin on Twitch, Obi Katie Cat, Rock_Whisperer. We have Third Echelon, Zeralius, Pale Rider XP, Iceman_1H, Peter_Pumpkins, Light Razor DD, and Bo Solaris, all returning on our weekly stream team. So you can find them for activities. Go hang out with them. They're good folks.
Good people.
some heavy hitters right there.
Heavy hitters. Check this out, Nina. Check this out. Adding to them, we now have Mexplosion.
Yep.
Activision, who's currently doing a charity stream for the Trevor Project. We have Sutledge, Ellie Bean, Pro_Superhero, Dizzy, Delo, Too Hardcore, Nominee X Nobody, Alaric TV, and Nathan Sane all joining them to now make a Mechazord of awesome Destiny creators. I'm very excited.
I dig it.
Some good
Talk
folks.
about
on
a
Oh wow,
stacked
this is gonna be
lineup.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the Avengers, man. It's like right at the end of the Avengers when everybody just kind of comes out of their own individual portal and they're like, "What's up? You want to play
Assemble.
Vault of Glass?"
Right on. I hope you guys are ready to tune into some hardcore live streams here on the Planet Destiny Twitch channel because we got you covered. Oh boy, do we
Yeah.
got you covered.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh.
look forward to pressuring Nathan and Light Razor into some trials
Do it.
Please,
Somebody-
please do.
on the Planet Destiny channel. Though.
Desmeraldo in chat says, "Awesome. 2020 insanity finally feels better." So are these the 2020? Ah!
Oh
Yes! We did it, everybody! Did it!
The entire year comes down to this.
So excited. This is better than basketball coming back.
Oh, I've been
So
waiting
excited.
for that.
So excited.
Well, right on. Congratulations to all our new team members. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Cannot wait to start watching it. Going to be some good stuff here on the channel. And thank you
So
guys. Thanks so much for joining. But all right, I do believe that brings us to the end of episode 248 of the Planet Destiny podcast. And I don't think I can think of a better way to end it than that. The 2020. Why did you say that, Dan? It's a thing.
It's a curse. It's a curse now. I'm sorry. I brought a curse upon everyone.
That's the official name of the team. They are the 2020. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. And big thanks, very special thanks to our guest, Nina, LastLadyLegend, for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me again. I had a lot of fun.
That was
A lot
great
of
to have you here. Ton of fun to have you here. And of course, before we get on out of here, we do like to give our guests the opportunity to let everybody know where they can be found, what all their social media stuff is, and if you've got any events that you'd like to shill out there right now. Floor is yours.
Oh, thank you. So you can find me Twitch and Twitter, LastLadyLegend. And I normally only stream PvP, except for, like my partner celebration stream and like a birthday stream, we had some drinks and some raids. But this month, I actually will be completing 100 Scourge of the Past as a community member has challenged me. So it kind of happened coincidentally with, we have another community member who is having a GoFundMe for their family dog. Long story short, family dog was attacked by another dog and is having spinal problems and needs to get surgery. So I've been sharing this GoFundMe around for this community member. And so I'm going to complete these 100 raids and take this donation and put it towards this GoFundMe. And that's the plan. And that's what I'm going to be working on a lot this month. So we just completed about 8 hours of raids this past Saturday. I think we're up to 17. So I'm a little behind, but we'll still be doing PvP help here and there, but there's going to be a lot of raiding going on. So it's pretty funny. So come check us out.
100 raids in 1 month. I believe in you. You can do it. Well, right on, Mickey. Make sure you guys go and check her out there. Get in on those raids.
Do it.
Motivate. It's motivation. You gotta motivate them to get done with this. Gotta get it done. It's for a good cause.
Absolutely.
Right on. Dan, take it away, buddy.
Hi guys, my name is Danfinity. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Danfinity, where the I's are L's. You can also find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Danfinity. 3 days a week, we're doing a lot of helps and stuff in PvE. PC is on Thursday, PlayStation is on Sunday, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got. That's where I am.
Right on, right on. I'm gonna look forward to seeing you get your 7 trials wins for your solstice.
Yeah.
Solstice challenge, man.
Oh boy.
Me and Dan actually kicked around of doing an experiment on Stadia trials one day.
Oh my God. Yeah, we do.
Oh,
we need to do that.
That's cheese.
We need to do that because nobody's there. Nobody's there.
Like not even us. So we just kind of want to see it one day. Like,
Yeah. You want to
Oh
do
my
that
God.
sometime in the next month?
I'm game.
Do it.
All right. Hell yeah. All right. All right.
I'll be the first time I actually sign on to Stadia since I signed up for it when it was free.
Ugh, I signed up for it and then forgot to turn it off for a month and was like, why am I giving Google my money?
For the next platform in gaming, Dan. That's why. I'll run it and tell me how it went. I need to know. I need to know how that goes.
Sounds good.
We'll keep like captain's log. Like,
Yeah.
of the
I need
game.
a stardate
So.
log. Oh my gosh. Stardate log 7166753. I'm still in queue. The 4 other people on this platform have not yet matched me.
We've made other what would be sandwiches. Maybe not. Oh, we're
We
waiting.
discovered more sandwiches. It turns out quesadillas are sandwiches.
Yeah.
Can't
Ice cream
wait. I can't
sandwiches,
wait to see
also
that.
sandwiches.
Ice cream, also sandwiches.
Oh wow, great
Yeah.
point. That's kind of a checkmate right there, honestly.
Yeah,
40
it's a
chess.
sandwich made out of a frozen liquid. But of course, my name is The Black Link. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at The Black Link. This week, probably going to be more of the same. A couple of Destiny live streams. Might do a Monster Hunter World live stream. Been having a lot of fun with that. Fighting the new frosty cat boy monster that they dropped into that. And some intermittent Final Fantasy 14, strewn throughout. Still loving my time on that. We've got a major patch getting ready to drop this week. And it's going to be a lot of new content to dive into there. So you guys know the usual stuff. For news videos on Destiny, you'll find it over at the Planet Destiny YouTube channel at youtube.com/Planet Destiny. But all right, that is it for episode 248 of the Planet Destiny podcast, your guide to this week in Destiny. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week. Bye, everybody.